In this Circuits of the Past video, Hermann shows you a lap on the surviving parts of the old Nürburgring Südschleife. Südschleife is German for Southern Loop. This part of the old Südschleife is now public road. For general traffic, they've increased the radius of the corners, so this section is actually faster than it used to be. The abandoned southern loop of the Nürburgring can be seen as the forgotten part of this iconic racetrack in Germany. When the Nürburgring opened in 1927, the complex included the famous 14.7 mile long northern loop, which we all know by the German name Nordschleife, a 1.4 mile start-finish loop, and a 4.8 mile long Südschleife. While the prestigious Northern Loop was used for international races, like the German Formula 1 Grand Prix, the Südschleife was used for national events. Here on the right you see the entrance of a camping site, and on the left-hand side is an old telephone post used by marshals on the Südschleife. After 1975, the Südschleife became disused, and when the Nürburgring lost the German Grand Prix after the terrible crash from Niki Lauda in 1976, plans were made to modernise the Nürburgring. The main victim of the modernisation was the old Südschleife. To build the new Grand Prix circuit, they demolished the old start-finish loop and the northern part of the Südschleife. What was left of the Südschleife became public road, and that's where we are now, or an entrance road to the parking itself. But there is also a section left abandoned, and we'll see that later on in the video. Here the public road turns right, but to keep following the Südschleife we have to turn left and take a narrow gravel road. That brings us in to what is now an extension from the village of Mullenbach. As a tribute to the track, they named this road Südschleife. We're now approaching the Mullenbach corner, a slow right-hander at the most southern point of the Südschleife. After this corner follows a long and fast ascending section that leads back to the start-finish loop. For the next section, Hermann had to make a long detour to get there. By the way, the guy Hermann, our traveller extraordinaire, is Hermann Lischmeyer, the founder of the Circuit of the Past website and YouTube channel. I'm Simon Smith and I put the voices on. I have a YouTube channel too, named Higher Plane Games if you're interested. As you see, we're now on the abandoned part of the Nürburgring Südschleife. This section is abandoned because they didn't want to give it a new destination. So let's hope this section is preserved and never repurposed. Hermann had to drive here very slowly because there were huge holes in the road surface. Here ends the abandoned section of the old Südschleife. Around us is a parking lot. The next section is now used as an entrance road to this parking lot. As you see, this part is closed by the barrier on this side, so Hermann needed to make another detour. Hope you get road miles for this. So here we are in the best preserved section of the Südschleife. As I said, this is now the entrance road to some parking needed to be used during the current events held at the Nürburgring. For some reason, they've made a rumble strip here, but after that the track is in really good condition, so Hermann could drive a little bit faster on the abandoned section. Once a racer, always a racer. Here you see Hermann slow down. That's because he thought he was already at the highest point of the slowest corners. When he saw the mistake, he put the pedal to the metal again. And at least there's not 170 corners to remember on this track, I guess. So now we're really at the highest point by the slow corner named Scharfer Kopf. Here also ends the abandoned remains section of the Südschleife. The next corner takes us back onto public road, but it still follows the Südschleife layout. However, it's not following it for long. After the corner, the Südschleife ends. Here was where the connection with the start-finish loop was, and where the new Grand Prix circuit is now. So that was a lap on the surviving parts of the old Nürburgring Südschleife. You can find more information about it on the website www.circuitsofthepast.com. There you can also download a free ebook about 7 abandoned racetracks that you can visit legally. For now, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit on the notification bell for more videos from another bygone circuit from the past.